Hello everybody, 10th Dr. Matt here with another Magnoli review, and today we're finally getting to the full Tennant Suit, and this is obviously the brown suit with the blue pinstripe, and I'm sorry if the lighting in here makes it look kind of purpley. It's just I think the way that the sun is coming in, so if I get closer you can actually see that it is in fact brown, it's not purple. And in case any of you are wondering, this is the 50th anniversary tie, although this is not a Magnoli replica. This is an original St. George by Duffer. So I will not be doing a review of this because I actually do not own the Magnoli replica of this tie, and since I have an original, I don't plan on buying it anytime soon, but maybe in the future just to kind of really give a good compare and contrast. But anyhow, we're here to talk about the suit. So let's get started straight away, and we'll talk about screen accuracy. Alright, so as far as screen accuracy goes, this is absolutely the best suit that you can buy anywhere on the internet. I've looked at a ton of them, from like the Easy Cosplay ones to Baron Boutique to Magnoli and others, and this hands down is the best one. And the fabric alone is what really clinches it. And I don't know how well you can actually see it on camera, but obviously this is the custom cotton that Magnoli makes himself. I know that when you order from Baron Boutique, you have a choice of either cotton or wool. I actually used to have the blue suit from Baron, which I had gotten in the wool, because their cotton, the stripes are not woven in, they're screen printed, and I just didn't really like the idea. And the wool suit from them was like, it was a nice tailoring job, but the wool was just not the right color, and it was like very thick and pretty uncomfortable for me to wear. Like the arms were tight, and it was just kind of awkward. So I sold that and I upgraded to the Magnoli suit, and I decided to go with the brown suit since I had the blue suit for a while and I really just wanted to get the brown one. So anyway, getting back to screen accuracy. So the fabric is excellent. The cotton really gives it a nice crumbled look, and I know that that was part of the thing that David wanted. He wanted something that would kind of wrinkle, and so when Louise Page made him the suit out of those Gap trousers, that's exactly what it did. Since it's cotton, it has that really nice crumbly look, and it's light, and so you're not going to be like sweating profusely, and it's very comfortable. It's like flowy, you can move around easily, and I don't know why you would be doing this at a convention, but if you want to do that, you can. So let's talk about features of this thing. So like number one is this pocket, and it's perfect. And I think I even, people have gone as far as to count the number of pinstripes on the pocket, and it's like spot on. And if you can see it on camera, it does have that kind of box pleat running down the middle. The lighting in here is kind of odd, so I don't know if you can see that or not, but it is there. Jacket, it does have 4 buttons. I don't have the 4th one buttoned, but they are there. The sleeves of the jacket have the 3 buttons like they're supposed to, and these are not working buttons. They're like for show basically, and that's how the original suit was. So kudos to Magnoli for that. Back of the jacket, you can see the half belt, which is not loose, in case any of you are wondering. I know some people have thought that that would be like kind of a loose thing, as some jackets are that way. This one is not. It's tight on there, and which it gives the jacket really a nice look because it helps kind of taper it. And speaking of the back, you can see the single vent, also accurate. In the front, you have the sort of faux pocket flaps, because it is a pocket, but the flap is in front, like that's supposed to be. So when you open the flap, that's not where the pocket is. The pocket is behind the flap, which again is how the original was. So as far as the pants go, I'm not exactly sure how the original waistline was as far as the button, but I have to say though that these are the best fitting pair of pants I've ever owned in my life. But we'll talk about that a little more in quality and workmanship. Another thing that I forgot to mention is that I have seen some side-by-side swatch comparisons, like an actual cut of the original fabric that was used for David's suit versus the Magnoli fabric that he made, and it's perfect. So 5 out of 5 without question. So let's move on and talk about quality and workmanship. So, as we've kind of discussed already with the screen accuracy bit, the quality of this is just incredible. I mean, the details are really on the money, and everything is perfect, and I couldn't be happier with the result of this suit. It's really, I mean, it's stitched very well. So I'll give you a shot of the inside of the jacket. You have your Magnoli label over here. You've got a number of pockets, so you've got this one. You know, you've got a smaller pocket, like if you wanted to stick your sonic screwdriver in there, that's kind of handy, or maybe your glasses or something to that effect. You've got another pocket on the other side. So, you know, you've really got quite a bit of pockets for all your gadgets and those sort of things, which is nice. And, you know, as I was saying, the stitching on this is just, it's perfect. And looking at it, like if you compare this to a well-made, you know, Italian business suit or whatever, you're going to see the same or better stitch work. I mean, this is not a costume. This is a suit. And so I'm going to reiterate that a lot because it is pricey, and we're going to talk about that soon. But it's totally worth it because, like I said, it's not a costume. This is a real suit that just so happens to work as a very good-looking costume. So, like I said a few minutes ago, the pair of pants with this suit is hands down the best-fitting pair of pants I've ever had in my life. And, you know, obviously that depends on how well you take your measurements. But it's really, you know, to be able to make this suit from across the world and have it fit me this perfectly, it, to me, is like mind-boggling. So, you know, that's an important thing to note. Make sure you get your measurements right. One thing I recommend, what I did, you know, I printed out what measurements I needed, and then I actually took that down to a local tailor, and I had him do the measurements for me to make sure that I got it right and I didn't screw something up. So as long as you get your measurements right, this thing is going to fit like a dream. You know, while we're talking about that, I know in my previous videos I have mentioned that I was waiting for the jacket to come back for a while. Just very briefly, what happened was I got the suit, the pants were perfect, the jacket here was perfect, but there was some kind of a mix-up with my measurements, and the sleeves were made too short and a little bit too tight. So that, I mean, the sleeves were like, you know, like this. But Indy was very accommodating. You know, we traded a million emails, and I sent it back, and I don't know whether they just put new sleeves on or made me a whole new jacket, but now it fits absolutely perfectly, and so I'm totally happy with that. It was well worth the wait. So I'm going to say for quality and workmanship is absolutely a 5 out of 5 because this is just like hands down the nicest suit that I have ever owned, and I am looking forward to saving up some money and buying the blue suit eventually as well. So now that we've covered you know, the basics of this suit, let's talk about the price because I know that is going to be a very important topic for most people. So this suit is not cheap. It is $575, and that does include shipping. But let's face the facts, that's not a small amount of money. And, you know, many people, if they're just going to buy a suit for, you know, to go to a job interview or something, they're not going to spend that much. You're going to go to a department store and you can find like a decent suit for, you know, maybe $300. But here's the thing. Like I said before, this is not a costume. This is a real suit. It's custom made to your measurements, to a T. So, I mean, there's nothing off the rack about this. It's not like you could go to, you know, a Magnoli shop and pick up a Tennant Suit and then just, like, have somebody, you know, do some alterations on it. No, this thing is made by hand for you specifically. So, you know, I have to say that the price is worth it because I totally wouldn't change my mind for anything. The suit is great and it was well worth the money. So price, I'm going to give it a 5 out of 5. Even though it may seem a bit steep at first glance, it's totally worth it, and the shipping is great, so let's talk about that next. Okay, so shipping with this is fantastic because since it is a custom-made item, basically it's going to take 4 to 6 weeks for them to make it. But then when they ship it, Indy sends it via DHL, and so you get a tracking number, and it literally arrives in 2 days. When they shipped this, I got the notification in the afternoon one day, and by the time I got home from work and checked the tracking number, it was already in the U.S. And then I got a text from DHL that said your delivery is scheduled for tomorrow, and the next day it was on my doorstep and ready to go. So the shipping is really 5 out of 5, excellent, and totally worth it. So I guess that about does it for this review. Obviously this is overall getting a big 5 out of 5 because it's just fantastic and it's absolutely worth the money. And if you want to save up for a bit and get this, definitely go with the Magnoli. Get the custom brown or the custom blue for that matter, or both if you have a lot of money. But it's not even worth it in my opinion to mess with like Baron or Easy Cosplay or whatever. Unless you're like really on a budget. Or I know some people have actually bought the material from Magnoli and then sent that to Baron Boutique to have the tailoring done. And I've seen some really great results. I mean, Baron, don't get me wrong, they do great tailoring. I just don't care for their material. It doesn't look quite right to me. But like I said, many people have bought the material from Magnoli, sent it to Baron, ended up with a great suit. But if you do that, I believe the material is like $60 a yard, and you need 4 yards to make a suit. So, that's like $240 right there, plus probably, $30 to ship it to Baron. And then I think they charge like $160 or $180 for the tailoring. So by the time everything's all said and done, it's the same price. So you might as well just order it from Magnoli and have them make it for you and have it all done in one shot. Anyway, getting back to the point, this is a great suit. If you have the money or if you want to save up and buy it, do it. And I'm very much looking forward to saving some money myself and buying the blue suit eventually as well. And that about wraps it up for this review. So please stay tuned to my channel. Coming up, I'm going to have the review for the Magnoli overcoat in faux suede. And also, please feel free to check out my Ultimate Tennant Hair tutorial if you want to have amazing hair like me. And I hope this was helpful, and thanks for watching.